Minutes from the February 25th, 2025 meeting.
A motion has been moved and supported. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, this item stands approved. Next item.
Item D, unfinished business. There is none listed. We're moving to item E1, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2025-35055, certifying revenue in the capital projects fund and in the central services fund.
Okay, who's here to speak to this item?
Hello, I'm Hector Roman, Director of Information Technology Department. This is for a budget adjustment for some unplanned expenses that we had to use to purchase new security-related tools to protect the county's environment.
Okay, we all are familiar, very familiar with the hack. Let me ask you, how much have we spent to date to, I guess, remediate or address the issues that have occurred from it, and to as far as prevention from it occurring again?
So the majority of this budget adjustment is for costs to help. It's not for remediation. It's more for new tools, new systems to protect us going forward. I can get you a list of what costs have been associated for remediation of the incident.
Okay, so if you give us a running total of both, you know, so any hardware or any new improvements associated that you saw that we needed to address this as well. Yeah,
Will do.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. I'd like to ask any additional questions, Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Hector, I was just wondering if you could tell me what have we determined what happened in the lapse of having something in place to prevent that from happening in the first place?
We did. We do know what happened in the lapse and tools that basically failed us. We are planning on meeting with the commission to talk more about the incident and then new systems that we're putting in place that we have put in place, and then we're continuing to put other systems in place as well. So we'll be scheduling a meeting to meet with commissioners to provide you guys updates.
Okay. The other thing, I know all of us have probably been affected by files and problems with our own computers in the office. And I'm wondering, when are we likely to see all of those issues that were created by the hack? And I'm maybe optimistic by saying all, but when that's going to be resolved and that we will have those items restored.
Yeah, we are continuously working. If there's specific files the department needs, our engineers are going to backups and trying to restore those files. So I'm pretty sure that's coming towards an end. And then our next move after that is working with departments and offices to move all those files over to SharePoint. And it's going to bring new functionality and extra security once those files are placed in SharePoint.
Would someone be contacting individual offices, or should we contact your office to say we've still got problems?
We have been contacting points of contacts from each office, but I can have my staff follow up with your aid and to get any particular file needs that they may have.
All right, thank you.
One thing before I call on Commissioner Clemente, I want to commend you and your team for your response, as well as how your response to the breach, but also how you respond to individual offices and trying to restore as quickly as possible some access to immediate items that are of importance to various offices. But I want to thank you for your team's response and your accessibility in regards to this episode.
Thank you. We definitely appreciate that.
Thank you. Okay, Commissioner Clemente.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for being here. I do want to stress that everyone needs to be looking at their emails, anything that comes out from the department. I know that there was a lot of things not being saved properly in the cloud. A lot of commissioners might be using different types of platforms, and you need to be using SharePoint. And if you're not sure about how to use it, please reach out, get some training. There's been lots of emails about that. You and your staff both need to know how to take care of and secure your information in your offices. And the team is fabulous. They will explain things to you. They are very, very busy, but they don't make you feel like they're very, very busy. They're taking care of things. And we are working very hard to make sure that everything is getting restored. But there's a possibility there might be things that might take a little more time or might be a little harder to get back, but make sure that you're doing the right things within your office. So that's all. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Okay, any additional questions? Any additional questions? Thank you, Mr. Director.
Mr. Chair, I will make a motion.
We're going to make a one motion at the end of,
I think the item.
oh, no, I
is a
think it's going to be,
discussion,
that's a good discussion. Okay, so a motion is in order.
I'll make the motion for items 1 and 2.
Okay, yeah. We haven't read in number 2, so. okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yep.
thought you did.
Oh, no, okay,
Oh,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item number 2, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2025-35028, certifying revenue in the general fund.
Okay, who's here to speak to this item?
Greg McIntyre, Deputy Budget Director, Management and Budget.
Okay, we can give a general overview of this item.
So this is a new countywide program to fund employee bus passes, and we're mimicking what we did with the parking program. So it was originally budgeted in payroll and going through payroll. So budget was not properly communicated with that, so thus the need for this budget adjustment.
Okay. Okay, okay, any additional questions? Any additional questions? Okay, at this time, a motion would be in order.
Item 1 and 2.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Baydun, supported by, is there support? Commissioner Scott, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, these items stand approved. Next item.
We are now on number 3, discussion with representatives from the Department of Management and Budget on budget adjustment number 2024-35302 in compliance with Public Act 2 of 1968.
Okay, who's here to speak to this for the record?
Greg McIntyre, Deputy Budget Director, Management and Budget. The purpose of this budget adjustment is to carry forward excess fund balance to the subsequent year to meet in the future CEO and commission priorities. Some of the reasons why the adjustment was made were to address some of the funds that were projected to be in deficit, to meet operational needs such as the building and facilities to handle operational needs for CJC, and to also meet the needs of any future priorities from the commission and CEO.
Yes, I believe our Auditor General is joining us by Zoom, and I would like to recognize her for the purpose of any comments associated with this item.
Sure. Marcy Coro, Auditor General. At the meeting held on February 20th, you're going to have to excuse my voice. I've lost it over the week and it's slowly coming back. At the Ways and Means the full board meeting held on February 20th, you asked me to prepare a memo regarding the prior Plan Moran finding related to the September 30th, 2023 audit, which was a material weakness and a material noncompliance. And the finding was that the county had incurred costs before the end of the year, but did not amend the budget until after year end. And that's the same thing that was happening with this February 20th budget adjustment. So we did some research, and the Uniform Budget Manual prepared by the Department of Treasury clearly states for the Budget Act requires budget amendments before any expenditures exceed the budget, and there should be no budget amendments after year end. So if we knew these funds were going into deficit, a budget adjustment should have been prepared prior to year end as soon as we became aware they were going into deficit. So I think we're looking for what corrective action can we have in the future so that we don't have these late budget adjustments that are coming 3-4 months after fiscal year end closing.
And so I did not hear that in your remarks. This is something that we've talked about, as we mentioned, over the past a couple of years. And so just want to know your response to the concerns that have, or the information that we just received from our Auditor General. What are the remedies? What corrective actions are you taking to make sure that we don't incur this problem
Commissioner,
at the end of this fiscal year?
yes, Commissioner, may I speak?
You absolutely state your name.
Yogesh Kisani, Deputy Chief Financial Officer, Management and Budget. So one of the exceptions for this year and particularly is CIO just mentioned about cyber attack, right? That happened like on October 1st or 2nd. And by the time when we are preparing these transactions, last quarter, by the time 9/30 is our year end, and by the time we are trying to close around end of October, November, some of our data files were lost. So we were trying to recover a lot of all those data files, and that including not us, other elected offices and so forth. So everywhere where we were trying to prepare the schedule, even just to know whether this fund is in deficit or not, we didn't have a sufficient data at that point. So there was, I think, cyber attack really added that, coupled with, I would say, we went live with our HCM system in July, middle of the year, which is not uncommon. People do go there. Having data conversions from a PeopleSoft, which is 20 years old system, going back to, I call it reverse engineering, going back to a JD Edwards, right? There was a challenging, we knew this is a challenging, and Oracle was working with us, our county team is working with us, everybody was working on that. But it's a complex transactions of 25 years old system, PeopleSoft. And we are not live yet with an ERP, I call it financial. So we were trying to reverse engineering everything from PeopleSoft to JD Edwards. And obviously, it just took us and more time than definitely anticipated. It's a complex, you look at the integration, whether it's working or not, even though the entire full team is working. So there was a constant flow of back and forth for the last quarter of our system, particularly July, August, September. So that's a little bit delayed. And then happened cyber attack. So this coupled with all these things, it was just keep on taking us a time and time and time. So that was one of the reasons. Because if payroll cost is not there, right, you can't do budget versus actual for the last quarter even.
Okay, so that speaks to this year. Last year, we were faced with, so this year, all systems should be go, and we hope that we don't be faced with this situation at the end of the year, because we just approved some monies as it relates to some additional security equipment. And so I just want to make sure that you're on notice that we expect those, any reconciliation, budget amendments, any adjustments, all that to occur on this side of the calendar year.
We'll do, definitely.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, any additional questions? Any additional questions? Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 4, update from the Department of Management and Budget regarding the budget preparation process schedule for fiscal year 2025-2026 budget as it coincides with the Wayne County Charter.
Yes, we've had this discussion last year and believe possibly the year before. So where are we with the budget timelines and all of that?
To the chair, I'd like to pass out a document if I may.
Absolutely. Yep. You may proceed.
Thank you. What you have before you is a budget timeline. So if you look at the top of the document, those items in bold, steps 1 through 5, these are the things we've already pretty much completed. And I'd like to turn your attention down to step number 13. Step 13. The goal is to submit the budget to commission by June 3rd this year. We are ahead of schedule from last year, so that's the desire.
Okay. Okay. Any questions? You have the calendar in front of you, and this is something for us to, I guess, keep an eye on, and appreciate the effort. And any questions from committee members? Any questions? So thank you both.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, next item.
Item F, such are the matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I know of none. Next item.
G, public comments.
Madam Clerk, I would like to ask for you to open up the microphones, and I would like to ask individuals who are joining us by Zoom or telephone, if you would like to address this committee, to either raise your hand or indicate otherwise that you would like to be recognized. Madam Clerk,
There are no hands on Zoom and no emails were received.
I'd like to ask, is there anyone present who would like to address this committee? Anyone present? Public comment is closed. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item H,
A motion is in order. Moved and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.